When they awake, it's time for us to sleep. Gods of the Deep was written and directed by Charlie Steeves, who's on various horror projects. Check out his IMDb page for the full list of his work. This stars McKenna Geiler as Christine Harris and Derek Nelson, hey Derek, as Jim Peters. If you don't get the hey Derek reference, you don't listen to a particular wrestling podcast. Nevertheless, they are two people that become part of a deep sea exploration sub-team where they are going to dive into the deep oceanic floor and hopefully discover gods of the deep. Yeah, let's just say that mission doesn't go all that well, and they discover more than they could have ever bargained for, even though they still were able to find what they were looking for. So yeah, as far as premises go, that's pretty much your lot right there. You get a collection of characters, including people that work for the Pickman Corporation. And if you didn't catch the name of that corporation, it's the Pickman Corporation. If you still didn't catch it, don't worry. They say it about 20 times through two particular scenes. The Pickman Corporation, not to be confused with the series of games with the Pickman that were about making juices and doing weird stuff and like leading lemmings around and all that. And it was a weird game. It's a weird series of games. The Pikmin aren't in this. It's just the Pickman Corporation. And yeah, things go absolutely tits up, even though this sub they go on is so goddamn advanced. There's no way anything bad could go wrong. But what could possibly go wrong? Everything Bubsy, everything. And yeah, this various cast of characters ends up with way more than they could have ever bargained for. So yeah, this is pretty much your standard low budget, oceanic discovery film that basically just hacks off pieces from various other films like The Abyss and any other deep sea exploration stuff. Hell, I mean, it's practically a low budget version of Leviathan that was certainly a movie that existed. It was very much a movie of its time. And the acting, look, I have nothing against people in particular. The writing wasn't exactly tremendous. The character motivations just went all over the goddamn place. They just threw a bunch of shit at the goddamn wall, to the window, to the wall, till the sweat dropped on their balls. Speaking of sweat, so many people were sweating in this goddamn movie. Were they filming this on Mercury? Genuine question. Genuine goddamn question. Nevertheless, yeah, we get a little bit of backstory for a couple of people, including, Derek Nelson. Hey, Derek, who wants to basically honor his dad's hard work. Because his dad used to do exploration, so he decides to go on this whole thing. Gee, I wonder if that's going to tie into the whole goddamn thing. Couldn't possibly. Why would they say it? Why would they ever say that and not have it tie in? Yeah, the character motivations end up just becoming kind of almost goddamn laughable. A few of the special effects are actually all right, given the budgetary constraints. There are a few moments that just made me absolutely goddamn lose it, and there were times where I was like, okay, that was a neat little idea, but we're just going to throw that, we're going to throw that, and we're just going to do, okay. Just going to throw these things in there and then have characters do stupid shit, and we're just going to just smash cut to an end that pretty much everybody could have seen coming. Also, we're just going to rip off Alien and Aliens and just a whole bunch of other stuff and whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's available on Amazon for a few bucks if you want to check it out. I rented it. Why not? Because I can get entertained stuff like this. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Yeah, there's not really much to spoil in this. But I don't understand why the computer technology looked like it was from the 1980s. The ocean is the last great frontier of our world. I mean, I guess. Except, all these explorations never go well. By the way, there was a Providence 3. That's the name of the sub. One character genuinely asking, you gotta wonder what happened to Providence 1 and 2. Important question. And since they're exploring the deep sea, somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere looking for me, they are going to stand on golden sands and watch the ships. Good old Bobby Darin. So, yeah, Jim lost his dad. He wants to honor his research. And I do have to say McKenna Geiler she at least tries in this, and she's been in some other stuff as well. So a weird setting for the sub. The sub almost seemed like it was taking place in a small apartment, but nevertheless, whatever, budgetary constraints aside. Old Man Pickman, a.k.a. Hank. Old Man Pickman just made him sound like a prospector. He obviously has some ulterior motives. So there's this one guy named Joseph, who does not actually have a Technicolor Dreamcoat, more in the pity. And they were calling up to the surface and saying, DP Control, we have arrived. I guarantee you that I reacted to that with the good taste and maturity everybody has come to expect. So, go through the giant hole in the floor. The Earth's butthole, I believe, is what somebody described it as. And then, yeah, water suddenly starts leaking in the sub that has all this great foam and sealing and stuff like that. And given what happened with a particular sub, controlled by a game controller recently, I wonder if they maybe could have just taken some inspiration from that. Then again, I don't know how long this film has been in development. So, they discovered there's the body of this like long, sleeping, lost oceanic creature. It looked like Cthulhu, except this is not Lord Cthulhu, this is Hank Cthulhu. I'll tell you what. Oh. And Hank decides to just act all... Hank, not Hank Cthulhu, but Hank the old man Pickman, decides to just go full-on insane. The mission basically is Hank and Joseph, we're going to get a sample from this creature, bring it back up, and get a whole lot of money. Because I guess Providence 1 and 2 just didn't do that. So, remember the apparatus that Ripley got into, Sigourney Weaver got into, stay away from her, you bitch, the clamp thing. Clamp. I forgot what the name of it was. I haven't watched Alien in a while. They had a little sub, not a sub or an unsub. That's what we could call it, the unsub. Another exploration vehicle that kind of resembled that, with about 50th of the budget. So let's stupidly shout at each other as shit goes wrong with this sub that apparently was not sealed very properly. So, Hank Cthulhu rises from the deep and just does this. We only see Hank Cthulhu a little bit. All hail Hank Cthulhu, all hail. He just reaches and grabs and destroys parts of the sub. The sub starts taking water. The guy that created the sub dies. There's a guy named Gordon who controls the thing. Gordon's fish sticks, or Gordman's fish sticks. And McKenna's character, Christine, she ends up in the water after Jim basically is exploring, gets the sample from the creature, and awakens Hank Cthulhu, and then she's underwater, and then she gets rescued, and they can't save her, but then he's going, breathe, damn it, breathe! Ed Harris will be rolling over in his grave, and he's not even dead, even though I thought he was until recently, until a friend of mine told me. So yeah, the tissue sample goes nuts and just fully forms. At one point, Hank decides to get all naked and rub himself with it. I don't know why we needed to see this, because Hank's insane. So were the people to put this together, I think. And yeah, Gordon goes nuts because he gets possessed. These tentacles and all this stuff goes all over. It's like if Life was put on a sub. I would rather rewatch this than Life, though, because this was over quicker. Life was really goddamn bullshit. And yeah, the creature is in their thoughts. Assuming this movie had any thoughts. So, Joseph decides it's a great idea. After Gordon is going all insane, Joseph gets this weird DoorDash doggy bag and puts a piece of the thing in, the piece of the sample, like just right in there. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a sample of the sample. So, Gordon channels his dad, Jim's dad, that is. He destroys the panel. There's only one person that can escape. At one point, Christina tries to shut the door that has just these weird Spencer Gift chains on it for some reason. And she ends up getting slime on her. Don't worry, that won't come back to factor in at all with the end. And then Joseph goes nuts. He gets an axe wound. It's a gaping axe hole at this point. And then Jim decides to stay behind because somebody's got to seal this thing so we can be okay. We can't both fit in there, and one of us would have had to have died anyway. But I'm going to be heroic. He gets in a fight with Joseph, and then Hank's all over there like it's, like it's like some type of 1980s, alien movie, like with the weird sparkly deals and everything. Trumpy, you can do stupid things. And then he basically ends up blowing up in the goddamn sub. And Christine's fine until the doctor, the lead research lady sees Oh, well, nobody can know what happens, even though we're in full view of, like, a bunch of these nurses that probably have no idea what's going on. And then, remember that slime she touched? Oh, the alien creature is in her and doing these tentacle stuff and everything. And then we smash cut to credits. 73 goddamn minutes of my life I'll never get back. I got some entertainment out of it, at least. Look, I've seen worse. I didn't expect much. And I mean, I'm going to pay for this stuff. I'm not going to pirate it. And again, wait for it to be on a streaming service, legal streaming service. Don't pirate the shit. At least do that. And then if you don't like the film, don't watch anything else they do. That means that let's see what else the cast and crew can do. They can't do much worse than this. Agree, disagree. It gets an F, by the way. F, just in case you didn't fucking get that. Agree, disagree what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.